Hi everyone. My name is Rahelia Parwati, student ID 234111051 from Management Class 23C. In this video, I'll be presenting a topic from the Research Methodology course. The purpose of this presentation is to help us better understand how to carry out proper and structured research, especially in an academic setting. I hope this explanation will be clear and useful for all of you. So let's get started.
Before going into the technique, let's first understand the meaning and function of data collection. Data collection is a systematic process in obtaining information or facts needed to answer the formulation of research problems. The data collected will later become the basis for the analysis, interpretation, and conclusion processes. Without valid and relevant data, research will not be able to produce reliable findings. Data collection also functions to measure variables in research and test previously formulated hypotheses. Therefore, this process must be planned carefully and implemented consistently. After understanding the purpose and role of data collection, now we discuss the types of data that are usually collected in research. Narrative 1. Primary data. Primary data is data collected directly by researchers from the first source. Usually done through interviews, observations, or questionnaires. The advantages of this data are its actuality and suitability to research needs. However, the collection process often requires more time, money, and effort. 2. Secondary data. Secondary data is data obtained from existing sources, such as official reports, books, journal articles, or statistical data. The advantages are that it is easier to access and saves resources. However, this data needs to be selected and re-verified to be appropriate and relevant to the research objectives. 3. Quantitative and qualitative data. In addition to being based on sources, data can also be categorized based on its form. Quantitative data is in the form of numbers that can be measured and analyzed statistically, while qualitative data emphasizes the meaning, perception, or experience of the research subject. The selection of this data form must be adjusted to the research approach used. Next, let's discuss data collection techniques commonly used in scientific research. There are several main techniques in data collection, namely interviews, observations, questionnaires, and documentation. Interviews are used when researchers want to dig up in-depth information from respondents. Observations are suitable for use in research that wants to record behavior or processes directly in the field. Questionnaires are an effective tool for reaching large numbers of respondents, especially in quantitative research. Meanwhile, documentation is used to collect data from archives, records, or official documents that are already available. The selection of this technique must be adjusted to the type of data needed, the characteristics of the research subjects, and the methodological approach used. In closing, we can conclude that data collection is a very crucial stage in the research process. Without accurate, complete, and relevant data, the entire analysis process will lose direction, and the research results will be invalid. Therefore, every researcher must design the data collection process carefully, starting from determining the type of data, the method used, to adjusting the instrument to the field context. The decision in choosing primary or secondary data, as well as a quantitative or qualitative approach, greatly determines the direction and validity of the research as a whole. Furthermore, this process is not only technical, but also ethical. Researchers are required to maintain the trust of respondents, ensure that data is collected transparently, and uphold the principles of scientific integrity. Therefore, it is important for us as students and prospective researchers to have a critical awareness of responsibility during data collection, and to ensure that any information obtained reflects reality, not the result of manipulation or bias. Awareness of the importance of data collection will also help us compile research that not only meets academic demands, but also has a real contribution to solving problems in society. In the context of today's increasingly complex and data-based world, the ability to collect, read, and interpret data appropriately is one of the main skills that future researchers must have. Hopefully this material can be a good starting point for all of us in carrying out responsible, systematic, and meaningful research. Thank you for your attention, Sir/Madam, and all colleagues. I am open to discussion if there are any questions or responses.
That's all from my presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope the material was helpful and easy to understand. If there are any questions or feedback, feel free to reach out or discuss further in class. Once again, thank you for your time and attention. See you in the next session.